It so doesn't fit the vibe of our show.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we stuck with it for a long time. Welcome to the Noonchi Podcast, y'all.
What up, everybody?
What is going on?
For those that are on watching this through YouTube, this is the last episode from the studio. We will be moving.
Bittersweet.
Yes. So
we got a lot out of the studio.
Yeah.
For those of you that have been following us from the beginning, remember where it all started? Mm-hmm. It all started
in a container box.
Yeah, in like literally a chango.
Yeah, with like
a chango.
Yeah, like with like just open boxes in the background.
Warehouse. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Storage room.
Yeah, we were in the storage room.
Go check it out. Go back to episode 1 and you'll see the storage room.
Yeah, just you know what? Just play for all those listeners, start from episode 1 and get all the way up to here.
Yeah.
Just you know, use it as background music, you know.
Yeah, why not?
Kind of need some YPP watch hours if you want.
Yeah, our next studio though, we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because next time you see us, we'll be in our brand new studio, which is going to be twice as big as this place. It's going to be nicer. We already, it's all like going to be, there's going to be one of those cyclorama walls.
Yes.
We'll try to use that set one time.
Yeah. I mean, we're
check it all out.
We're going to do it. We're going to probably do what we normally do, which is just... whatever set is ready, we're probably just gonna park there and do it, right?
Yeah, I mean that. If you haven't noticed, these decisions of where we're sitting in this room, the set is often different, and we just like wherever the mics are closest to, whatever the camera.
Our kind of philosophy on this is kind of like the first podcast that I ever did, which was called the Fuck It Podcast.
Yeah,
it's kind of my philosophy on a lot of things, which is like, should we? Fuck it, and then we just do it. So that's where I think that is my life motto. Fuck it. You know,
you guys had I was on that show once and or twice, and then I remember your setup. It actually was a step up from the When in Seoul podcast.
Oh, what?
The When in Seoul podcast. Like, we never talked about it at the time. I think we brought this up last time, but we didn't tell our employers that our studio was my house.
Right.
Which was like perfectly fine. That's where I recorded some of my albums, actually. I mean, a lot of my like demos and some album tracks, actually. But because I just knew how to use that space, but really what it was is we had one mic and we shared the mic.
Imagine if we had a video portion of the When in Seoul podcast.
We should have just done it
that would have been probably the most ghetto podcast video podcast you would ever see.
We should have done it just so we could have that like look back eventually and say
how we got better, how we improved, though
the Chanko studio was pretty that was like pretty ghetto.
It was,
but we made sure that everything in the back was not cleaned up, or kind of like it was what it was.
But on to better locations, right, and better things from the podcast, right?
Send us money. Just our next thing I want to do is like upgrade some gear and stuff. Like these mics are okay. They're meant for podcasting. But
actually, I saw like I saw the same mics at Jimmy Kimmel's house.
At Kimmel's house, okay.
Because he was a guest on Charles Barkley's podcast.
Oh, okay.
Everyone has a fucking podcast now, right? And Jimmy Kimmel, I was like, you know what? Jimmy Kimmel's a millionaire, and he's using these mics. We're doing all right.
I mean, honestly, these mics stand like head to head with the more industry standard, like what Joe Rogan uses, and like, that's why I got these, because you don't really need to go fancy until you go big, right?
Yeah.
So always remember where you came from, right? Like jump the gun and imagine if we did buy the best of the best stuff and we just still fell flat on our faces.
Well, I mean, we're still falling on our faces right now. But so yeah, I mean, we didn't go all in because, you know, we'll gear up when we get more successful. But ladies and gentlemen, it is once again the last episode in this studio. And so yeah, I mean, and take it all in on YouTube. Watch it 4 or 5 times. Also, Bob, May is a very family-oriented month in Korea.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we just passed last week 어린이날, which is Children's Day.
Yes.
And then on the weekend, it was 어버이날, which is Parents' Day. For those in the U.S., Koreans do not separate Mother's Day and Father's Day. They go, y'all get a holiday together.
Well, in the States, it was Mother's Day this past Sunday.
Yes.
Right? And then next week is Father's Day?
Next month.
Next month,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
They don't really have a Children's Day.
No.
Right, okay. So, but it does fall in the same month, at least Mother's Day and all that. So, things are a little different. Like I've gotten used to it, like clearly. But this is my second Children's Day,
right?
With my son.
So, what did you do with your son on Children's Day?
So we were supposed to. I was supposed to have a show that night. Like, I have this residency that I'm playing at, right? And my first night was supposed to be that night, but I asked them, "Hey, I have a son, and I really would like to spend the day with him. Can we switch?" So I switched with Saturday, and so that day I booked my wife booked a kids cafe, an afternoon at a kids cafe, which was great because, you know, when you make a reservation, there's a limited amount of spaces. Like normally it would be really packed, but because it's like,
I feel like kids cafes are a very Korean thing.
Yeah.
So for all our white people that are listening, what is a kids cafe?
A kids cafe, it's like it's that they actually sell coffee for the adults, but there's just like lots of activities, including like for kids. Like they have what do you call it? A bouncy, like a trampoline in there. They have a ballroom. What do you call those ballrooms where you can jump in and it's all balls?
Like a pit filled with balls. Yeah. So basically, it's like a baller ass playground. You know how like some McDonald's
it's like
have,
a nice playground, like a nicer one, I would say. And we got there a little early, and we couldn't go in yet because after each session, it's like 2 hours to 2.5 hours per reservation. They sanitize the whole cafe, right? Just because, and it made us feel much better about the situation as well. So
obviously, I've never been to a kids cafe because that would probably be creepy for me to go.
They wouldn't let you in there without a kid, Danny.
Right. But I've heard from other Korean fathers that there's gonna be the young father there, right? Like this guy is in his mid-30s, right?
Yeah.
And then so like there's all these fathers around that age, maybe even older.
Yeah.
But there's always this one dad who's like in his late 20s or maybe even mid-20s.
Yeah.
And so like this young father is making the older fathers look bad
because he can keep up with the kids.
being a little bit more like you're like, hey.
My wife and I, we were tag teaming basically. You know, we were like, we were like WWF. You know, like a tag team match, whatever. Every time I got tired, I go to our table where our coffee was, and then she would give me this look: "Get your ass back up. It's not time."
Your wife's fighting with the referee, not looking.
Man. At one point, I was like, yeah, this kid's... At one point, I was so exhausted. It was like more than halfway, a little bit halfway through. And I was like cursing Korea's holidays. I was like, what is this? Why do I have to do this today in the middle of a week?
Right.
It's on a Wednesday. Yeah. And the worst feeling was I had to go back to work. You know? It felt like Saturday, to be honest. And
I had a great Children's Day because it was a day off.
You got a day off.
Come. I was supposed to come, and I was like,
BS.
Nah, that's cool. God bless Children's Day. But a part of me thinks that given the declining birth rate in Korea, this holiday is going to vanish in about 40 years because ain't nobody getting pregnant.
I mean, with all the incentives these days, like the government gives you money if you have kids.
So for all those Korean women listening, if you want to save Children's Day in Korea, my email is dannychocomedy@gmail.com.
They also, dude, you know how it's like really hard to buy a place here? Like real estate is really difficult to get into, especially in Gangnam.
Right.
But there's all these new buildings and high rises coming in.
Right.
You can't actually just apply. Like you need to apply to a lottery.
Right.
To get an actual like bid where you can buy a place. So it's incredibly difficult to do that. But you get bumped to the top of the list if you have kids, young kids, right? So if you have 2 kids, even more. They want you in there.
So if you guys want to be a part of a lottery of a new apartment building, my email is dannycho@gmail.com. Actually, last week was my mom's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so...
That's right. On Thursday, right?
I gave her a call. I already sent money.
You sent money. Okay.
Yeah.
Good son.
And then so, she was like, because my sister couldn't make it home. Like she had stuff to do.
She lives in the Bay Area, right?
No, she lives in Marina Del Rey, but she was like just kind of swamped with stuff.
Okay.
And so she couldn't come. And my dad had to work. So I was on the phone with my mom for an hour.
Phone as in FaceTime?
Nah.
No, just
I'm not going to show her how dirty my place is, right?
She hasn't seen your place.
When I first moved in, like that first few months, she came to visit. And then,
that's right.
And that was the last of it. And then one time my dad came and we crashed.
He crashed at your place?
Like the first time in like 30 years, my father and I slept on the same bed, right? Like 30, 40 years, right? 30 years, right? And so that was it. But it was my mom semi-venting. She's like, I know, like, you're in Korea, obviously, and your sister needs to be, like take care of herself and like, your father's working, and I know, I totally get it. But it kind of sucks that it's my birthday. Yeah. And I'm here just by myself, right?
Oh, man.
And I went,
Something about, like, so I'll let you finish the story, but I want to tell my birthday story right after.
So, a part of me always, for all those people watching, your parents don't necessarily need gifts. Be nice. But, a phone call every now and again, a visit every now and again. Yeah. Clearly, I'm assuming that especially Korean children, will get the same, like all Korean parents, particularly Korean moms, I feel like are world leaders in nagging. Like just no matter how old you are, you're still their little child, right? Yeah. And so I'm like, I like one time when it started snowing in Korea, And I was like, oh yeah, it's getting cold. It's snowing outside. And then she goes, be sure not to walk with your hands in your pockets.
Why?
Because if you fall, you have nothing to brace with.
Right.
So you're gonna.
That's good advice.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, Mom, I've been alive for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
I know how to walk on a variety of surfaces, right? But again...
But the truth is, you've fallen.
Yeah.
In Korea.
Yeah, so like...
아저씨 괜찮아?
And you know what? Boom. Like my hands came out fast out of the pocket. But anyway, so yeah, your parents undoubtedly would nag. Mm-hmm. The shit out of you, but at least for their birthdays, just take it. That's your present to them. You know what? All that nonsense and stuff that's not gonna, that probably is not right. Mm-hmm. Just take it. Just be like, you're right, Mom. You're right. You're always right. But yeah, so and then I called her on Mother's Day, which was like a few days later. Yeah, and I was like, you know what? You're getting 2 calls in 1 week. You know what I mean?
Same with me. I talked to my mom.
Yeah. I think we've surpassed the quota of calls. Yeah. So you're not gonna get another one for a long time because I've held twofold of double dose of the mom nagging vaccine. Right. 2 shots.
Well, so for me it was my birthday on Friday.
Yes.
The day after your mom's. So I kind of had that feel also like that feeling of kind of like not disappointment, but I didn't really expect to be alone on my birthday. Although I was at work, it was a Friday, and I just remember thinking, usually you get a cake or at Collab, right? And I was like thinking, I want to get, like, I already feel weird about it, And so what I did was I bought, lately I've been buying things for the office, like fruit or whatever, or like, so I just bought like a bunch of energy drinks that day. I wasn't really sure if people knew. A couple people knew because we had planned to have dinner. And then because we were working late, right? So the lunch comes around, right? And, I eat lunch alone a lot of days, right? But then for some reason, I thought out of a office of 40 plus people, maybe one person would like ask me to lunch, right? And nobody did. Like literally, I just like lunch came around and I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna. So I actually try to join some other people for lunch, and you can't have more than 4 people. So they're like, oh, we're going to they said it slowly to get jjajangmyeon. And I was like, oh, I'll walk with you guys. And then I realized, there's 4 of them. So I just kind of let them, I said, I got to go somewhere. And then just walked around aimlessly and ate a sandwich by myself in the kitchen. I was like, all right, well, whatever.
I feel like you kind of enjoy being a fucking loser. There's a part of it is kind of like, I mean, personality wise, you're not the type to when there's something I'll be like, you need any help? Yeah. Right. I'm sure you sometimes do need help. Yeah. But you go, no, it's okay. Yeah. And I'm the type of person like, all right. Right. So but you're not the type to be like, hey, can you help? Unless it's like really urgent. And so even with this kind of like, not a, hey guys, it's my birthday, I want to eat jjajangmyeon too. Not like that, obviously.
I'm not going to announce, hey, it's my birthday. Like, let's have, Yeah. But I did think for a little bit, like during lunch and a little bit after that maybe I'm not as popular as I thought. I felt like a little bit like.
But where would anyone know your birthday except if they checked on like certain inter-office HR websites.
At least there was a couple people that knew because we had planned on having dinner, right? And so, and a couple of people. I actually got a couple of gifts given to me like before lunch, and then I don't know. I just figured, Anyway, this is taking too long to tell. So there was a reason why nobody asked me, at least in our team, is because like late afternoon, I had to leave the office for a couple hours because I was looking for things I could put the mic stands on this thing, on this table. But I couldn't find it. I came back. They're like, hey, someone's looking for you. Like they did. And I was like, I came back to the office and then they had a cake surprise and all this, like they printed out these posters with my face on it. And like they had this big, like, they bought me a bottle of like really expensive whiskey, like our team, right? And then everyone else, like they had posters of me and then they did this really big, nice birthday thing. And I felt, okay. They're like, oh, we went all the way to COEX to get all this stuff during lunch. So some of them couldn't have lunch, right? So I was like, oh, I feel a little bit better about that. And then dinner time comes, or like end of day comes around, and the people that I was supposed to have dinner with, I was like, oh, so where should we go? And they're like, oh, you didn't say anything all day, so we kind of thought you didn't want to meet, and you were just being nice. And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, and so they already had plans. So they had plans, or I don't know. And so I was like, okay. So it's like,
man, you're mad topped up here, bro. This is mad topped up here. You need to speak up more. Yeah. Not to be like, it's my birthday, I want to eat takbal. Not like that, obviously, but
so like, but I had to work anyway. So I was like, I thought we would just go eat and then come back and whatnot, but I just worked, I went and got a Subway sandwich, and I came back to the office and I was like just working, eating my sad Subway sandwich and thinking, this is probably the first time in my life I've had lunch alone on my birthday and dinner alone. So I was really kind of feeling sad. But there was one person that actually stayed late to work as well. And I have a feeling that they stayed because they didn't want me to be there alone. And I was really grateful for that. And then anyway, so it was a weird.
Yeah, I think feeling. you're every episode or every. I mean, not even
there's
every
like
episode.
A sad story.
It's like you're a magnet for right.
I remember at one point because like I opened the bottle of whiskey that they bought me, and I nearly finished that bottle, right, while I was working and I was researching podcasts and stuff, and we shared it with. I shared it with other coworker, and then somebody else came after 10 o'clock. Right. That a friend of ours, right, that came. So the three of us drank some whiskey, and then thinking like, like things got better. Right. Like I felt, some whiskey will do that. Right. But yeah, I don't. Me, like it's just like. I'm gonna use that feeling that I had, that sad feeling. I'm not gonna like bury it. Right. I'm gonna use it for something. Right. So I actually wrote some lyrics. I wrote a song, and it actually wasn't bad. I recorded it on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." At least I got something out of that, and that's actually the way I write music whenever I'm down. Right. So I need to take advantage of that more. I think. Like I used to do that.
What was it called? What was the title of the song? Veggie Delight on my birthday.
How did you know I got the veggie? I got a veggie sandwich actually.
Because I know that now that you are running and trying to be a little bit healthier.
So technically, I did not go out for my birthday, have a birthday dinner or anything like that. So tonight, today you came early to work. I came early too, like way early, right? So you came way early. So I'm thinking we leave on time today. And maybe you can buy me dinner. Maybe it's just like
on me, whatever you want, buddy. I got you. Anyway, well, that was your weekend. Friday and Saturday. The reason why I couldn't meet you up was my show ended at 10, right? And I was in no mood to see people because at the show. So CGV, they made some sort of partnership with this handicap association. So every Friday, they're going to send 10 handicapped people to the show, particularly blind people, because of the fact that the story is that blind people have no reason to go to the CGV to watch a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, it looks good on paper, like blind people at the CGV. Like that's kind of...
it's also they have the best sound system, like movie theaters.
Yeah, right? But, obviously it's like, so anyway. So they did not... By the way, the sound system is only good for movies. It's not good when you plug a microphone into it, right? Like it's... right? And so...
Yeah.
So... At this show, there was 12 people. 10 of them were blind.
Okay.
Right? And they're all old. So it's almost as if they came...
Like how old?
Like 60s.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and above. Right?
What are you freaking out at this point? Like, do you have material that makes...
No, so sense? I mean, like I've told...
clearly you can't tell the Una joke.
I don't never tell it in any language or in any age, right? But then I look at them and I go, oh man, like, cause everyone's bombing, right? And they always put me at the end because no matter what happens, I'm supposed to save this show, right?
Okay.
But like, I feel like these people came not knowing what stand-up is. And it's almost like they're a forced field trip. Oh, it's free. Let's go. Right. And no one's reacting to anything.
You're not getting any laughs.
Anything. So in the middle of it, I'm like, now I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Right? Because like...
You're pissed at CGV?
Yes.
At everyone?
Like the whole situation. I'm like...
Even the audience?
Kinda. Okay. But I was like, as someone who wants stand-up to be a thing in Korea, right? I'm not saying don't bring blind handicapped people into the show. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that who is doing the marketing here where it is only these types of people that are coming? Do you know what I mean? Like, it should be a more filled, well-rounded thing. Yeah. But instead, they're just trying to make it look like we are doing philanthropic. Wow, I can't even say it.
Philanthropic.
Philanthropic work, right? Which is like cool, but also like, yo, man, let's put asses in seats with a bunch of people, right? And so I was so mad. I was like, why are you guys here? Like in the middle of it, like in the middle of my set, I was like, "Wait, what's that?" You know, and clearly it doesn't look like you want to be here, right? I sure as hell don't want to be here, right? And then, like I said, that this is the fucked up part, right? Where
what?
I go, out of the 12 people, 10 of them were blind. And I go, you know what? Like, and I was like looking at to the operating room, the staff, and I was like, you know what? Why don't we just save on the electricity bill and turn off all the lights at least? Don't make a difference.
Oh,
right? Clearly,
that
zero. Like.
Did you say that?
Yes.
You really said that?
Yeah. I was like, whatever. You know?
I mean,
might as well.
Did they laugh?
Nobody laughed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Zero.
I feel like I don't know if it's an awkward situation. Like you're not gonna make me laugh on this one because I don't know if I'm supposed to or if I'm allowed to. It's like I feel like you can laugh at yourself in moments like that. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know how blind people look at the world, or So it's so I'm like fumbling right now.
I mean, look.
If I heard that, I'd be like, you
would laugh.
That's funny. Like it's like you had the balls to say something like that.
Let's turn off the lights. And I was like, I can do an ASMR joke for each and every one of you motherfuckers, right?
Let's turn off the light and save some money. That's
yeah, it was but I was in a foul ass mood on Friday, right? And so I was like, and then right before my set, you texted me like, when is your show over?
Yeah, because I was trying to get more
right. Yeah. And I was
people to help my birthday work out.
I was totally about to go, but then I was in such a foul mood that I was like, nah, man, remember, we can't, both of us can't be fucking depressed, right? So that's bad. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. I was like, you know what? I'm going to see Bobby the following week. Yeah. And dinner or whatever's on me, right? And then Saturday, even less people were there. But this time it was more like same venue, but it was like a few open micers that have come have seen my set like maybe 10 times.
Oh, really? Okay. So they're there to study.
Yeah.
Or they like being in.
Yeah. And then there's like 4 other people. So there's 7 people. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah. And remember,
similar situation.
But remember, it's a CGV, right? So it fits 150 people. Right? But then only 7 people, like, you know what I mean? Like if it's a room like this and 7 people are here, fine. But if it's 155 people capacity and only 7 people are there and they're scattered. Yeah. Oh man, it's like, I was like, what am I doing in Korea right now? Right? So I sat down. I sat down and I said, you know what? I'm not telling a single joke I've told on stage. I was doing all just
new stuff.
Well, or like stuff that I was working out.
Okay.
Right. And then I told one story. I'm gonna be on the record. I'm gonna be honest. It's just not even my story. I heard it from somebody on Clubhouse who's not a comedian, and I said, "Let me try. May I use this story?" Absolutely. Okay. Right. But I'm gonna frame it as mine. Okay. Because it's not funny if it happened to a friend.
Yeah, right? It's got to be first person.
So this is titled "The Worst Breakup Story," right? Okay. So, right after college, I graduated. I was dating a girl who was in college. So after her finals, that night, her and her friends went out to go party. And her friends were like, hey, I heard you had a new boyfriend. Let's see a picture. And then she showed them a picture of me. And they're like, wow. Oh, so you just date anybody now. Oh my God. He's ugly, right? Right? But the following day, we were supposed to go on a day trip, right? Like a 2-day, 1-night trip. You know what I mean? On the drive there, she's just like, when something's wrong, like just quiet, just not talkative or whatever. So I'm like, hey, what's wrong? And she's like, nothing, it's okay. And I was like, oh, fuck. Right? Finally get to the hotel, sit on the bed or whatever. And obviously something's up. What the hell's up? And then she tells them what happened. My friends think you're ugly.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Okay.
And that's why, it's on my mind. Now, for me, how do you react? I'm not ugly. Yeah. That's weird too. Right? And obviously, it's not. She's more like distressed that her friends think her boyfriend is ugly, as opposed to fighting or whatever, or being, no, he's not ugly, or whatever it is.
That whole boat is wrong.
Right.
Like,
it's
she's
all wrong, right?
They're wrong. And it's all like,
So my mind goes, there's only one solution.
Okay.
Let's break up.
Okay.
Right? That's what I told her. And her expression changed. She lightened up like, oh, okay. Like as if a burden was lifted.
Okay.
Right? But then I can't just drive back. We're supposed. So we ended up having breakup sex.
Okay.
Right?
Not uncommon.
But only missionary style. Because I wanted her to see my face the whole time.
Did you get laughs?
Yeah. Only missionary style. I didn't even try my best because I didn't want her eyes to go to the back of her head. So I just... If she tried to close her eyes, I'd be like, Puria!
That's funny.
Right.
I feel like there could be like... It could hit harder though.
Yeah.
Like there's something more that you can hit harder.
But like, the story of the story of the breakup sex was from what I got on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
But then the missionary style.
That was you.
That was all that part's all mine, right? And so obviously,
I mean that's what that's what writing bits like they're not all like from personal experience. You have to like
Well, so I like that. You know, so I was just trying out random stuff like...
I did the same thing, though.
What?
I had a show that night.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time as you, basically. And I hit you up because I was like... They were like, said, if I want to invite anyone, I could invite people. And I was like, wanted to take advantage of that because where I'm performing, tickets are $150 a seat for one ticket.
Yeah.
You know? It's like... I just found this out like recently, and now I'm like, oh God, now I feel bad to people. Actually, this is my first time at the show, so like, there's other performers, there's other things that are going on. There's like curated, there's like nice cocktails, nice food, but it's not cheap, right? So I was like, I'm trying to get people there because there's not a lot of people there,
right?
So I felt even worse. You know, I was one of two performers that night. And
what was the other performer?
A magician.
That's the tough.
It's hard to follow a magician.
Act, yes.
He was pretty good too.
Right.
And so I was like, I'm not doing the set that I prepared for tonight. Right. You know, I gotta like, these people are gonna straight up, if there's Yelp, they're gonna be like, what the F is this kill pull doing? Like, I don't know. I just felt really bad. I actually ended up doing okay. Like, I've been rehearsing for quite a while now, and my voice is getting back to normal. And so, but I changed up my set list, like accordingly, like 맞춰서. Like I want to 분위기 맞춰서.
Right.
I forgot in English that's like
fit the
follow
vibe.
the mood.
Yeah.
And so I, just like, it was interesting. Like they let me take my mask off for one thing. I thought I had to sing with my mask on, but what they end up doing is putting plexiglass between me and the audience.
Yeah.
And so I'm like just singing through like I kept thinking of like, if the audience had pies, then they threw it at the plexiglass. That'd be pretty funny. But I sang some songs based on whether or not this is sad. Like most of my songs are sad, so I'm trying to like, hey, what do I have that's happy? And like, so I just mixed it up. And then I think the one thing I did was, I tried to do more banter, and I just basically started off with, "I'm sorry," like now would be a great time to go to the bathroom. Like a perfect time to go to the bathroom. Or if you smoke, please, by all means, go smoke.
Did they get it?
Yeah, they laughed.
Because some people don't. Yeah. Some people go, oh, I think maybe it is time, right?
There was about 6-7 people there. And then 4 of them were in a group. These 4 women. And they didn't listen to me at all. They were just talking the whole time to each other. And so the other 3 people, one was a friend, and then 2, a couple. Yeah. They had no choice because they were in the front seat, and I was this far from them. They were just being nice.
Were the 4 that weren't paying attention? How do I say this? Did they look like they wouldn't pay attention?
No, I it seemed like they didn't give.
But did they pay attention? But did they pay attention to the magician?
Yeah.
Oh, damn bitches! Right? You should have started like this.
That guy had music though. He got like get people to clap the whole time in unison. I can't do that. Yeah. Like.
No, you should have been like,
clap along, yo. Clap along.
You should have been like, hold on. Nah. Yeah. Pidulki.
I'm gonna do that next time.
You should have done something dumb, like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta hold on, a rabbit. Yeah.
But I did get through my set. I thought I might like cut it short, but I didn't because I actually felt okay because there are a lot of people that work there that I could tell they were into it as well. So they actually were the ones that were encouraging. And I thought they were just doing it to like fill in the punagi, kind of the mood. But no, afterwards they were incredibly like attentive to what I was singing, and everyone had a different favorite song. So I knew that, hey, I knew I did the best I could, and it was fun. I had a great time. I thought it was actually kind of worth $150. Maybe not my part, but the whole like experience, like it is like kind of an art, the whole house. It's like this whole big, it's not big, but it's like 2 floors, 3 stories really. There's art outside the house. There's all these art installations that are really, really impressive that they put a lot of effort into. At least for that and like the cocktails and whatnot. I mean,
the cocktail's free if you paid.
You get 1 free cocktail
for $150.
Yeah, and then
they should give you a bottle.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy bottles too and wine.
Well, I'm not gonna buy I'm gonna drink water after I spend $150.
So I don't know. Like I saw people drinking wine and things like that. So.
Well, you know what? Like I feel that we've done a lot of shows. We've put together a lot of shows. Like we've dealt with a lot of
different kinds of shows.
Yes. Yeah. I feel that we can have a say, be like, hey, how much you spend on all this shit? And be like, this is how much this type of show will like, this is like, I feel bad. And I even for the stand-up comedy shows that we do, I said Friday lineups, make it so that there are better people on it. Yeah. Saturdays, make it cheaper, but it's a lot, half of them are open mic people.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So that to me, like I can price it out. So as a paying customer, right? Like I can see if as a paying customer, that the reason why this is worth more is because these people are better.
But also Friday, even for the people, for the audience, they just got through a long week.
Right. And
Friday's the night to be like, yes.
Right.
This was all worth it. Right. Saturday, they already got through Friday and had a great time Friday. Saturday, maybe a little bit more forgiving because it's already halfway through the.
I don't know if I don't know if the blind people had a good time on Friday, but good news that I have a show this coming Saturday and it's already sold out.
Yeah, that's like, and it's a lot of people. It's not like a.
Right? What do you mean?
It's a big venue.
So it fits as of right now, it fits only 50 people because of COVID, right?
That's a lot for this time,
right?
Yeah. So it's not 6-7 people,
right? So we sold out, and then so hopefully, if the show goes well, then it becomes a regular thing there.
The irony is, my show probably made more money than
absolutely
at 150
yeah, man. If 5 people watch your show, right, it might be the same as what the Full House at my place, right? But you know, the thing is, I wanted to kind of set up a not a venue, but like I wanted an environment that's more catered to like a stand-up comedy show.
Yeah.
Versus like a kind of stiff ass like theater, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
with all the like, it's a theater, right?
Yeah, of course.
So meaning the house lights, and the stage lights are the same.
Yeah,
there's no spotlight, so it has to be everybody's lit up. Stage as well as whatever. Yeah, which makes a big difference in my opinion.
Of course,
particularly when it comes to stand up. Because if
any performance for that matter,
absolutely, but especially with stand up, because and in Korea particularly, because if you're telling a risque ass joke, if it's darker, you Noonchi ba less.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Oh right, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But if it's lit up, then I don't want.
There's that scene in that movie Ray about Ray Charles, where they're at this they're doing a show, and the audience is just being way too rowdy and loud, but he's still doing his show because he's used to that, right? And then the house manager turns down the house lights, and just keeps the light on stage, and everyone shuts up. Right. So there's so much truth to that. Right. Like even when I do a show, I like we've talked about this. The worst show, my bottom. Was actually I made a lot of money doing those shows, but is when I was playing at the Conrad Hotel. It was for the rooftop venue.
You're basically background music, right?
Yeah, and it's all lit up.
Yeah,
and I'm just background music. Yeah. That really sucks. Can you imagine though if they were sitting in darkness and there's only one spotlight on the stage? That means they're supposed to be paying attention to what's on stage.
Yeah. So you know, like these are the little things that you and I should be able to tell people that put shows together.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this briefly before we started taping, but I was like, hey, we should eventually have a venue.
Yes.
Like, and you know, maybe it's a terrible idea now that given that like pandemics and stuff, like it's like a terrible idea to have a venue. But really, if everything gets figured out, I mean, it was always kind of like one of my dreams to own a venue for, you know, indie music, because I've played at so many different venues and I know what the splits are that musicians are comfortable with. I know what the best stage lighting is, the best sound. What I know like are the best venues that I've been at have not always been the most like elaborate. It's always been just they got everything right. And I think we could do that. Like even our conversation now, like it's clear that we have experience, right? So I think, you know, at least like if we don't make one, if anyone out there, if you ever want to make a venue that did music or stand up or both, like we could consult. We can help consult.
I feel like it's similar vibes and settings, stand up and like indie music. Only difference might be that the music needs better audio.
Yeah, I mean,
than stand up. But aside from that, like vibe, punigi, lights, whatever, it's probably all the same, you know. So, but anyway, if we're talking about like our future plans,
why not? We have no rules on this podcast.
So you had so we both had interesting gigs, you know. I know we're me and you are talking about doing a joint gig soon, you know.
Yeah, it'd be great. I think We've done so many in the past, and many of them have been like train wrecks.
Yeah.
So I think we really need to think this one through. Like I do want to play at a venue that like is not just like a. Yeah, I don't want to bring up the past, but we've done some really. Remember one place that didn't even have a mic stand, and you had to hold the mic for me.
Yeah.
While I sang.
Yeah. And you like hunched, you were bent over, like you're really bent over.
It's like I needed to get the mic and my guitar into the like they had no like it was just ridiculous. Like and I was like, yeah.
Fuck that place.
We've done stuff like that.
But anyway, Babo, this is our last podcast here. Do you have like one thing that you will miss about this room?
About this room, probably the Pojamacha set. I really feel akawa because we didn't use it a lot. I was so excited with it, and it looks great. I think it was underused.
Right.
It really is my favorite set in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I can't complain because it's much better than our first situation.
Yeah, I mean,
but now like we know how to make the most of small spaces, right? So I think that's really important moving forward. So, I mean, I'm grateful we're moving to a place that's twice as big.
You know what I miss about what I'm going to miss about this place?
What?
Not for the use of the studio, but the use of every now and again after 10 o'clock.
Oh, we'll come back and have a
drink.
A nightcap.
Yeah. I'm going to miss that because I know that
it's a pretty chill place to have a drink.
Because there's a possibility we probably won't be able to do that in the new studio.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to talk with the other company that we're sharing the space with. But yeah, why not? I mean, like, I hope we can, but it's... hopefully things get better and we don't need to have a secret place.
Yes.
So that's the main hope. I think we're good for this week. I mean, we didn't really talk much about Obuninal, but we did talk about our parents, right?
Oboinal.
Yeah. And then the Pibukwa.
Yeah, because
Pibukwan.
Oboinal, not the capital of New York State. Oboinal, and the Pibukwa. You're the storm on the right side of your head. Is raging right now. Is a Category 2 hurricane. Hopefully it doesn't go into Category 5 like mine. But
so the bald spot on my head apparently got bigger.
Yeah.
And I just didn't notice because I can't see back there. I got a haircut last week. And the person that cuts my hair, we don't really talk. But she talks to my wife. So she cut my hair. I got home and my wife said, oh, I just got off the phone with the hair cutter. And she said, your bald spot got worse.
The hair cutter.
She said to go to the hospital and get that figured out, right? And I was just like, well, she could have told me that at least. Like,
well, it'd be hard if she has to. No, not even that. She has to talk to somebody that says Albaninal. right? They're like, I'm not going to be able to communicate with fucking Albaninal or fucking Pibukwan or whatever the random shit you say. Yeah, so she's like, I'm just going to talk to the wife. It's better.
That's true. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. That does make sense. Oh, man. All right. Thanks for sticking with us this far. We'll see us in the new studio next time.
New studio.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully we have some special guests planned for the new studio move, right?
Yeah.
So thank you.
Peace out, y'all. Thanks.
Bye.
There's not much more to say. Laters.